Okay, Renegades, here we go. It's another day, another update. We have about 130 people, and I know it'll keep going up. So thank you for joining us. It's another day of us trying to figure out how to make this all work while we're sequestered in our homes. So couple of things, even though everyone's becoming Zoom professionals, couple of quick things just as housekeeping items. If you are not one of the presenters, please turn off your video. If you come online, please stay on mute. And the panel will take questions at the end, but if you watch in the chat channel, there are discussions that will be happening during the presentation, and you'll see questions being answered. Feel free to interact, but we'll hold the questions for our presenters till the very end of the presentation. So with that, you know the drill. We're going to pass it on to our president, Sonya Christian.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you all for tuning in like you do every day for our daily virtual forum at 3 p.m. We will not be having the forum tomorrow. There is a meeting that many of us need to attend, so we will be canceling it tomorrow, and then we will reconvene next week. We have a great lineup of panelists to talk with you today, and I'm particularly thrilled that we have our trustee, Romeo Agbalog, joining us as well. Well, I typically start my remarks by talking about the words that have become commonplace for us these days: COVID-19, social distancing, stay at home, Dr. Fauci, Zoom meetings. It is definitely business unusual. In tracking the number of cases, one of the websites that BC has been tuned into is the Johns Hopkins dashboard. And every time I do my Renegade Roundup, I give you an updated number. And as you can see, we're nearing 500,000 at this point worldwide, with the United States over 60,000, with about 16 here in Kern County of those tested positive for COVID-19. Moving on to the next slide, in Kern County, we get an update regularly, and I know Shannon monitors the website. We still have 301 pending tests, of which 201 have tested negative so far. Flattening the curve. Why is it that the governor of California talked about sheltering in place? And why is it that we at Bakersfield College, even prior to the governor talking about this, we at BC, starting in early March, we started canceling our large gatherings, our events, because we were anticipating the spread and growth of the virus, and the best thing to do was not to stay close to one another, to really create an obstacle to the spread of the path of the virus. Certainly our science faculty have been keeping track of this and been advising me. So this particular graphic shows that with protective measures indicated by the blue shading, we can bend the curve of the epidemic so it doesn't spike as indicated by the red, and really increases above the capacity of our healthcare system. So by social distancing, we can be smart and slow down the spread of the virus so our healthcare system can take care of those who are most vulnerable and need their attention. I know if you've driven past our hospitals, you would see that there are tents outside. In fact, Bakersfield College has been contacted by the local hospitals, by our legislators, to see if our gymnasium would be available if things got really crowded here in Kern County. And BC's answer is always yes, we are here to help support our community. On March 23rd, the governor announced the National Guard deployment, and we had several questions related to this, so I wanted to really reassure everyone tuning in today and who might watch the videos since they are posted on our COVID-19 website, that the National Guard is being used purely for humanitarian purposes to distribute food and medical supplies. So it's not a martial law. It is just us self-monitoring and staying at home as much as possible. Moving to the next slide, you're probably now curious about what is Bakersfield College doing. And last week, my phrase was, we were ahead of the curve. But this week, I shifted my language to BC is playing where the puck is going to be. Well, what is this in reference to? You will remember that in 2016, the Memorial Stadium was transformed when the Condors took over the stadium with an ice rink and we had the Winter Fest. That was the first time me, who Sandy Taylor is often trying to educate me on sports, I came to know the name Wayne Gretzky. And Wayne Gretzky, who's a great hockey player, talked about the good hockey player plays where the puck is, but the great hockey player plays where the puck is going to be. And that, my dear friend, is Bakersfield College. And that is each and every one of you who makes it possible because of your talent, because of your intelligence, and because of your heart. You're able to make us play together where the puck is going to be. So what does playing where the puck is going to be look like? In January, we started monitoring the coronavirus, at that time called a novel coronavirus by the World Health Organization. And by February 27th, when we noticed that it went to over 83,000 cases, we immediately activated the Incident Command Center here at BC. And by early March, we started briefing the campus, and we started, on the next slide, canceling events. We started moving into large-scale professional development, inviting faculty to work with the academic technology department to move courses online. At that point, our Vice President of Instruction, Billy Joe Rice, sort of categorized courses in 3 different chunks: the lecture classes, the laboratory classes, and then the very difficult, hard to move to an online environment classes. And she started by focusing on lecture classes, encouraging faculty to move classes online. So we were playing where the puck was going to be. At that point, many of our organizations around Kern County were not starting to close down events. And I remember phone calls from many of my colleagues saying, hey, what is it that BC is doing? And we kept signaling, this is what our science faculty are advising me. This is what the World Health Organization is talking about. We need to move. So you will see that on March 13th, our president declared national emergency, and we were completely moved online by March 13th or March 16th, when all of instruction and student affairs was online. We closed the BC Southwest and the Delano campus on March 18th. We didn't really close the campus. We closed the physical campus because we were fully functioning online. Our main campus on Panorama closed on March 19th. We announced the closure at 3 p.m., 3 hours before our governor announced stay at home. BC playing where the puck is going to be. We then immediately started working with our healthcare providers. Many of the hospitals contacted me, Carla Gard, Cindy Collier. We deployed our healthcare students. They haven't even completed their degrees, but they were needed to be in service. So they were hired right on the spot on Monday, and they started working, helping our community. And today, as we speak, we are launching what is called a Back to College program which I will talk about. And my ask of you, if you're on Twitter, if you're on social media, please blast this opportunity that BC is creating for our community. Next slide. We are not novices when it comes to distance learning. This particular graph shows in Renegade red BC's trajectory with expanding our online offerings compared to the state that is represented by the gray line. You will see that 18% were online, which meant over 80% of our classes were face-to-face. So think about it. In 3 weeks, we shifted 80% of our courses. We serve 40,000 students into an online environment. And that's because of you. I'm looking at our faculty panelists here, Anna Collinson, Paula Parks, and Chris Tyner, amazing faculty who have shifted their face-to-face into an online format. Next slide. So Craig Hayward conducted a survey, and yesterday I reviewed the survey in detail, but I wanted to retain this slide because you will see that our students, when asked the question, are you concerned about COVID-19 pandemic and the associated disruption? You can say most of them are very concerned. And their lives are disrupted, and we're trying to tell them, stay focused on school. Next slide. So unemployment, this is an article from the New York Times from March 19th, where we're talking about overwhelming unemployment that is happening. And on the next slide, you will see an article from the LA Times that talks about unemployment. What happens when there is unemployment? What do these individuals do? This is the time for these individuals to go back to school and to skill up, right? So BC immediately playing where the puck is going to be. We have launched today a late start option, which on March 30th, students can enroll in a late start semester. It's a 5-week semester, and we're getting them started on a trajectory to completing an associate's degree or transferring to complete a baccalaureate degree. This crisis that we're in will potentially continue for several months. So we're in it for the long haul in providing a pathway to baccalaureate completion. So this is a slide to all 232 of you who have tuned in to blast it out, because we need our community to know. Check in on March 30th. Our counselors are waiting to enroll you in classes. That's Victor Diaz, Jonathan Ward, Joanna Costa. Next slide. And that's pretty much it.